Here's the deal. You're going to need to suck to make money. All right. I know you guys probably saw this title and freaked out a little bit, but don't you worry. I'm keeping it PG-13 here on this episode because today we're talking about money and this bullshit idea, this bullshit belief that people who make a lot of money or have a successful business, have a large following, these people that you envision have it all figured out, all their ducks are in a row, their life is perfect, everything in their house is from IKEA, and birds are just chirping, their poo must have glitter in it, and they just were given all of the answers and everything made sense for them, and they were an expert right from the womb. They just popped out of their mom's womb just being an expert. And I'm here to tell you, it's bullshit. I'm here to tell you, it's a complete bag of horse poop. And there's this just misconception and this idea that to be an entrepreneur and to make a difference in this world and to really help people or build an audience or have a successful launch or to make money online, that you've got to have it all figured out. You've got to have everything in line, and you're just perfect. And you, for some reason, right, this mystical unicorn person was given something that you don't have. And they were given answers that you don't have right now. And I am here to tell you that's crap, that's bullshit. We're going to take it, we're going to throw it in a bag. We're going to take this nice warm bag of poop and we're going to throw it because it's crap. And what I want you guys to realize is not only if you are building an online business, obviously this episode today is majority going to apply to women who are building an online business. Yes, your audience hates perfect people, but to realize that you're never going to get to that point that you want to get to unless you're willing to fall on your face, and unless you're willing to get a little messy, and unless you're willing to be a little bit embarrassed. And I know that's not fun to talk about. I know it's not sexy. I know it's not desirable. I know it's not me saying, hey, click this button and you can make money, or type in this code or this algorithm, but it's the real tough love truth that I have to give you guys because I do love you. And I talk to hundreds of entrepreneurs. My business partner, Jen Casey, and I, we talk to so many entrepreneurs, usually health and wellness coaches, who want to wait. They want to keep waiting. They want to wait till they're more experienced, till they get a certification, till they go back to school, until their kids, their kids get out of school, till they lose 10 pounds, till they get married, till they get their divorce finalized, till they have it all figured out, till they're Jillian Michaels and they're an expert. And we hear the craziest shit. I've heard shit about people's cats, right? Like there's a million reasons to not start a business. And that's why most people don't grow their business. Because there's 1,000,001 reasons why you don't want to start your business right now. There's 1,000,001 reasons why you're not making money right now. And it's the people who really cipher through that and just keep pushing through the bullshit and just stay consistent that actually make money online. And that's why there's only so many people who actually rise to the top. Because I think it takes a special person who's crazy enough. If you're listening right now, you better be freaking crazy because you're my people. You better be crazy, right? We're crazy, but good crazy. Not like the psycho chick crazy, but like good crazy. Like passionate, obsessed crazy, right? You've got to be crazy enough. And if you're listening right now, I just want you to scream hallelujah, yes, yes, yes. You've got to be crazy enough to believe that your ideas are going to make you money. It's almost this level of naivety, being naive plus being crazy. And that's what makes an amazing entrepreneur. It's not your skill set, my dear. It's not how many lead magnets you know how to make. It's not your Facebook ad conversion. It's really the mindset that goes behind running a business and producing content and putting yourself out there and realizing that it's never going to be perfect. And if you're a type A person who got straight A's in school, sister, this is a brand new game. This is a brand new game. And a lot of people like to treat entrepreneurship like school. And that's where the issue comes in, is that it's not like school at all. It's actually the complete opposite, where you need to be breaking rules, you need to be taking risks, you need to be crazy, you need to be a little out of your mind, and you need to be a little naive enough, be a dreamer enough to realize that if it's burning inside of you, it's probably something that you need to do. And it's probably going to work because you've already made the decision that it is going to work. And God, like I said, Jen and I talked to so many women who will tell me, I'm going to wait 6 months to launch this program or launch the business. I'm going to wait another year until I have things figured out. Sister friend, what are you waiting to figure out? Sister friend, what are you waiting to figure out? Are you waiting for the sprinkles in your poop? Are you waiting to be a unicorn? Because I got to tell you that every successful entrepreneur had to be embarrassed first. They had to go through a really awkward stage. They had to be willing to be crazy and passionate enough to just put their voice out there and get messy. And they knew that I'm never going to have all the answers, so I may as well start today. The best day for you to share your message, share your story, launch that program, do what you want to do is right now today. You are always going to wish you started sooner. I know that for sure. There's not a lot that I know for sure. We live in a crazy world. Why are we even here? I don't know. That's a different episode. But this I know for sure, that you are always going to wish that you had started sooner. You're always going to wish that you had more time on your hands. This asset that we all wish we had more of. And unfortunately, it's limited here on this earth, right? It's like we're here for a weekend and then we're gone. And I think if we realize that and realize that nothing's going to be perfect, your website, your story, your program, attracting clients in your network marketing company, your messaging, whatever it is, it's never going to look how you want it to look, and then you start. It's the complete opposite. You start, you make mistakes, you get feedback, you reverse engineer a bit, and you just keep going. You go with 90% and you just keep going. Maybe you are listening and you were that woman who was the straight A student and you wouldn't turn in that project unless you got an A+. God, you're my hero. Well, kind of. In school, you were my hero. I was the C+ student who was like, hells yeah, I'm out of here because I got a C and I'm proud. And so realizing that entrepreneurship is kind of like that, where you just got to be willing to accept that you're not perfect. I've built multiple businesses. I'm not perfect. I don't have it all figured out. No one has it all figured out. I've just been willing to get messy. Same with you right now. If you're listening to this episode and maybe you've launched a business, you've gotten customers, 9 out of 10, you got messy and you just took imperfect action, because imperfect action was better than you sitting on your tushy, sitting on your ass, making it flat, right? No one wants a flat tushy, and just sitting there waiting for stuff to happen. And I'm giving you the green light. I'm your coach, your cheerleader. I'm telling you that I want you to go with a C+. I want you to go with a B+. I want you to go with what feels good, inspired, authentic action, and then just run like the wind. I don't want you to sit and overanalyze and think you need more research or you need more expertise or you're not good enough or smart enough or another certification is what's going to help you make money. And I think if more people were willing to just be crazy enough and naive enough to believe that their idea is actually going to work, there would be more successful people and there'd be more people making money. So if there's anything that I can inspire you to do in this episode, it's to look at your daily actions, look at your actions this week in your business and say, where can you get messy? And what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? I have that plaque actually in my bedroom. It's one of my favorite plaques. It literally just says, what are you waiting for? And every single morning, I believe I bought it about 10 years ago, a long time ago at some fair. It says, what are you waiting for? And I look at it every single day that I wake up, whether this is my relationships, this is my business. I just think to myself, what am I waiting for? I think we're all sitting here and we're just waiting. We're waiting for someone to knock on our door and say, hey, it's me. I'm your dream guy, right? Now you're ready for a beautiful relationship. Or, hey, it's me. I'm this messiah who's going to tell you that now is the time to launch your business and you're perfect. Guys, you're going to be waiting a long ass time if you're waiting for that knock on your door. You're going to be waiting a long ass time. You have to make the decision. You have to be the person who gives you that permission slip. And if I can do anything for you guys, again, in this episode, if there's anything I can do for you, it's you, not me. This isn't on me. I'm just a catalyst right now for you to give yourself that friggin' permission slip. Because no one's going to give it to you. No one's going to tell you the business is perfect enough to start making money. Anybody who's made massive amounts of money or incredible amounts of money, whatever you think that is, they got messy. They did not have every step in a row and think, well, if I do this, and then if I logically do this, and well, on paper, if I follow this step, and then the next step is going to look like this, and then here I am, and I'm a millionaire. Like that's just not how it works. And with systems and strategies in the online space, especially, I want to prepare my students and my clients for that mess up, for those hiccups, so they know it's not going to be smooth sailing. It's not a linear graph of here you go, here you start, you launch your product or your program or your service, and then everything's just high vibe from there. when it's really an up and down roller coaster. If you look at it visually on a graph, it's really up and down. There's highs, there's lows, there's mistakes. But in the end, you're always going to be grateful that at least you started and you got messy, because if not, you're just sitting on your ass. So stop waiting for things to look amazing. Stop waiting to have all the answers. Stop overcomplicating the process. Stop making it harder than it needs to be. Be friggin' consistent, no matter if that consistency doesn't look maybe how you want it to look. You should be embarrassed by a lot of the work that you put out in the beginning of your business. I really think that that is a huge plaque of success, is when you're embarrassed by the work that you first put out in the first few years of your business, and not completely embarrassed that, oh my God, I can't believe I did this to people, but in a very playful, loving way of almost like looking at your child when they were a teenager and saying, wow, that's so funny that I was so confident and bold and I showed up and that's who I was at that moment, and I've grown so much. The whole purpose of building a business and being an entrepreneur is growth. The purpose is not for me right now to get out a checkbook and write you $100,000 and say, there you go, there's your six-figure business. I gave it to you, there's money. The goal is for you to go through it, and the goal is for you to go through the growth, and the goal is for you to make the mistakes. If I'm your mom, your coach, your leader, I'm not doing that for you. You have to do that. You have to fall on your face. You have to post the embarrassing posts. You've got to put out that awkward video. You've got to put up the ugly sales page. You've got to make those mistakes. You've got to launch a program and have nobody answer and nobody join. Because that's what's going to build you up. And that's really what's going to take you from someone who is nervous and doesn't know what's going on to really looking back and realizing that you built this massive, amazing business because you went through those growing pains. There's nobody who's at the top of the mountain, let's say, if you want to use some corny analogies. There's nobody who got there without climbing. They had to climb to get up it. I'm not going to give you a helicopter and bring you there, right? And I know a lot of women are kind of in this state of why aren't things working, or just waiting, and they're frustrated. And I think that if they realize that they just need to keep taking that imperfect, messy action, that's where success is going to happen to them, especially in their finances. And doing the gut check. I'm a woman, obviously. Hello, I'm a woman. And I think being a female entrepreneur is a gift. And one of our greatest gifts is our intuition and tapping into that female feminine energy, which guides us to kind of always know what the next step should be. It's not a forced energy. It's not an intense, heavy energy. It's just a quiet reassurance. For me, it feels like a little pull. For me, sometimes it's like little chills, and it's just kind of like, wow, I think I know that that's the next thing that I need to do right now. And I follow that, and I continuously follow that with just inspired, authentic action. And then I feel into that next step. I just feel into the next step, and then I match it with hard work. And I think that's the beautiful blend of, you don't have to be perfect, but you've just got to be willing to be intuitive enough to listen to what is the next step for you in your business. So what I want you guys to do real quick, just some really quick tips before I end this episode today. What do I want you to do then? Let's say you're new to the online space, you're wanting to make money right away, and you're feeling very overwhelmed. There's a million different things you could be doing right now online. There's all these different people telling you to do all these different complicated marketing funnels and who knows what. And you're sitting there in just pure anxiety and overwhelm. And there's three things I want you to realize. Is one, and this is more of the tangible steps right now, if you do not have a target, you can't hit anything. You have to have a target. So we have to first figure out, what is the target? If you want to get somewhere in life, it's gonna be much easier to get there if you actually have a destination. It's going to be such an easier process if you actually have a destination. And money and business loves clarity. So two things I want you to get super clear on right now if you're listening to this episode is, one, getting really clear on who are you speaking to and what is the problem you're solving and what business are you in. A lot of women I talk to are very passionate and they want to help people and they want to run a business, but they don't actually want to solve problems. They don't actually want to really run a business. They just want to say they run a business. If you actually want to run a business and help people, you've actually got to sit down and say, how is this business making money? How is this business actually making money? How are you actually creating revenue in your business? And number two, speaking of targets, is I want you to realize that, one is more so, who are you speaking to? Who is that target audience? And two is really, how much do you want to make in your business? And I'm not saying that you need to create some crazy even 1-year goals, but setting those weekly or monthly goals is so, so important. Money loves clarity. And I hear again from a lot of women that I just want to make a lot of money, but I'm going to wait. And those two things just drive me nuts because one, you do not need to wait. And two, just want to make some money or just make a lot of money is so vague that the universe is probably having a hard time receiving that because it doesn't know what that means. And it's hard for me too as a business coach because I don't know what that means either. I don't know what make some money means. That could mean $1,000. That could mean 200 grand. I don't really know what that means either. So making sure that your targets are clear. Who are you speaking to? What are you selling? How much do you want to make? These are not fun things to do, but they're the exercises that are going to make your business flat or profitable. And I think that you have to just sit down and say, what is it I'm really doing? What problem am I really solving? Who am I trying to attract? How does that business make money? Is it a service? Is it a product? Is it consulting? How does the business make money? A cute Instagram post saying you inspire women is not making you money. How does the business make money? How does it make money? And number two is, how much money do you actually want to make? Money loves that clarity. So you getting really clear on how much is that? Is that you wanting to make 2K months to start, 6K months? Okay, what would you need to do to make $6,000 months? How many people would you need to attract? What offer would you need to have in place to actually make that money in your business? Saying you just want to make money is fun and it's cute, but it doesn't actually make us money. You guys feel me? How many of you guys on live right now relate to this? Say, heck yes, yes, oh my God, Angie, this is so helpful. I would love, love, love to know. How many of you guys are struggling with this sense of having to be perfect and having to figure it out? Stop watching other people online who you think have it all figured out. Unsubscribe from them, get your mind in the zone, get your blinders on like a horse, and just realize that they didn't have it all figured out. You guys, do you know how many freaking friends I have who have multiple 6-figure and 7-figure businesses who we just laugh together and we're like, isn't that funny that we don't have it all figured out? I'm like, I know, I don't have it all figured out, but I just kept learning and I was open to being a student and I just kept being very open and receptive to falling on my face and learning. And I didn't wait for things to always make sense or to always be perfect to take that action or to make money or sell a program or to help people. If you're called to help people, you've got to help people. You know, there's not a certification really for that. Yes, there's health coaching certifications. Yes, there's life coaching certifications. But at the end of the day, that's not going to be the maker or breaker. It's just a part of your arsenal. It's just a tool in your toolbox. Yay, Nastasia. I'm so glad this was powerful for you guys today. Practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. I can't wait to laugh with you. My friend Catherine, actually, I'm going to give her a plug right now. My friend Catherine from Manifestation Babe, she's so awesome. We did an interview for my Rich Bitch podcast, and she came over and we were hanging out and just talking about our businesses, and we both created multiple businesses, and we were just laughing. And I said, so what is your secret, or what do you do? And it was just a very just loosey-goosey conversation. And I said, you know, I would love to know. And she's like, yeah, I just take inspired action. Whatever feels good, I do it. And then I create good shit and I put it out there. And I was like, wait, so do I. And I'm like, I don't really know why people overcomplicate this process when I know that sounds silly and you're like, come on, please give me the real deal. But that's truly what I do at the simplest form. That's really what I do is I take inspired action. I think, wow, this would be really fun to sell. This would be something I'd be great at. This is something I want to help people with. What problem do I really want to solve right now? How do I want to serve my audience? Is this profitable? Yeah. And then I run with it and I go and I create programs around that. And I don't make it rocket science because it doesn't need to be rocket science. And I don't compare myself to people who've been doing it longer. I didn't compare myself to people who were 10 years ahead of me. I just thought, if this seems fun and this seems like it's going to help people, I'm going to do it. And then I take inspired action. I create a shitload of content and I show up consistently. I help people and then businesses are built, right? Like, I almost feel like weird telling you guys that. Like, oh my God, I'm not leaving you with a marketing funnel tool of how to run your Facebook ads. Like, boring, right? Like, that's another podcast. You can listen to that somewhere else. It's not my style. I fall asleep in those podcasts. I'm like, oh my God, can someone please stop? Because I'm a very organic marketer, and I think that I attract a lot of women who want to put more passion back into their marketing and put more fun back into their marketing and put more play into what they do and into their content. And I believe that when women do this, then they're able to create better content and they're able to be more creative and attract more people. And that's really the secret sauce, is really tapping into what feels right for you, taking that inspired action and realizing that you don't need to be perfect. Stop waiting to be perfect. Stop waiting to take another course, certification, go back to school when your husband leaves his job, when your kid blah, 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 when your kid stops pooping. I don't know. Trust me guys, I've heard it all. I've heard it all. Especially the cat stuff. That's weird. I don't know what your cat has to do with your business. I'm going to find out. But anyways, love you guys. Hope you loved this episode. Hope it inspired you to go get messy. You don't need to be perfect. You just got to get started. And the secret is, everyone who you think has it all figured out, they don't have every single piece of their life or their business figured out. That's bullcrap. That's bullshit. You are enough. You have enough right now. You have enough resources to get started, to get your business moving, and to start making some money in your business. So go get messy. All right, guys, love you. Talk to you soon.